Hello! The switches have been flipped, the buttons have been pushed. We're live on the internet. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's a wild day. It's a weird day. So let's play some minis. Why not? I was told in a stream earlier by another streamer that you can't paint minis and talk about politics at the same time. And I am gonna prove them wrong today. So if you don't like, paying attention to world events, this probably isn't a stream for you. Because holy shit, there's a fucking, the worst coup ever going on right now. Oh, a bunch of whiny red hats fucking attempting a coup. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous is what it is. And I'm gonna paint some minis about it. So, before we get started, the normal, run of things, you can support the channel today by donating via Twitch, Twitch TV/DungeonBrush, all one word. You can go there and click the donate button to donate to the stream. I left my deck over here. You can donate on Venmo. Send me a tip on Venmo if you're enjoying what you're seeing. That's a way to support the stream. You can buy your Amazon hobby supplies via the little gubbin on the screen here on Twitch. I get a little kickback for every sale made that way. You can buy things off of our Amazon wish list and gift supplies to the shop if you think I'm going to spend your tip money on cocaine and prostitutes. You can tell your friends. You can subscribe, and you can subscribe for free because Amazon Prime does that shit. You can subscribe for free, and I get a kickback from that. You can follow. That's always free. And yeah, that's it. That's the announcements. Follow, subscribe, donate, support your friendly local artists. So what am I painting today? Today I am painting this lovely miniature of a naked dwarven berserker barbarian type. You can see I've already done some work on this mini. I started this mini yesterday. Still a work in progress though. We still got plenty to do. Basically I finished the skin tone, the eyes, which I did this war paint makeup across the eyes. That was a little bit of an experiment. But we still got plenty of stuff to finish on this here lady. This might be, depending on how I feel about it in the next little bit, this might be the last in my stream of pin-up minis that I've been doing lately. Because I've been doing them to practice my skin tones, and I feel like I've got a fairly average grip on that. And so it's time to move on to another type of mini to practice something else. And I kind of know what that's going to be. I'm going to start working on non-metallic metals, which is something that I'm atrocious at. So we're going to practice with that next. But for now, we're doing Dwarfy Tits Out McGee Barbarian Lady here. This is a badass mini. This is an older mini from Artisan Guild. I've been painting so much Artisan Guild lately. This is an older mini from Artisan Guild that I saw it and I absolutely loved it. Had to get it. So yeah, we're gonna be working on her for a while. I've got another couple other minis set up to work on. If we need to give this one a break and let it dry, I've got other minis to work on. Yeah, that's what we're doing. If you're watching, feel free to message, to chat. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Let's be pals about it. Keep me company while I paint this mini for you. Also, I broke out my my super sweet mermaid brush to do some line work on this one because I want to do side of her head's kind of shaved. I want to do a little tattoo design over there, so I needed a liner brush. So I got one. I got one out. I got it out of my cup of mini brushes. All ethically sourced. Now, what am I doing? What am I doing now? Right now, I'm going to take this larger brush, this super cheap kind of crap larger brush. This is a fine touch, so crap. And I'm going to grab some gray. This is a darker No, that's not the darker gray. It's just a gray. That's just a gray that has separated. That was the wrong gray. That's the one I want right there. This is a Skavenblight Dinge, I think. This is a Citadel gray. And I just want to do like a base coat on all the fur. Which I've already started to a certain degree. Again, I started this mini yesterday. This is not the first time I've been working on this mini. Might not be the right gray either. It's not. Damn. So many grays on my palette. And I don't know which one is which. My wet palette does not the most organized palette in the world. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but it came out all kinds of wrong. It doesn't really matter because, you know, as long as I get a nice dark gray base coat. I'm off fucking camera again. As long as I get a nice dark gray base coat on all the fur she's wearing, that's what matters. Because I'm going to be building the rest of the color off of that dark gray. You know what? Let's get a little. It's going to do another dollop of this Skavenblight just to make my life easier. Yeah, yeah. I still haven't found quite the right balance. I'm still new to the wet palette. I still haven't found quite the right balance of water to paint. So my paints tend to soak and thin out and separate a little bit past where I'm super comfortable. But that's okay, because I'm learning. I'm learning stuff. Learning things. Alright. I got a lot of orange on the fur up here, but I'm going to leave that because I still have a lot of work to do to the hair. Did I miss anywhere? Yeah, little spot right here. You may also notice that I missed a huge chunk of axe handle over here. But I'll fix that when I actually get around to painting the weapons. Alright. I feel confident about that gray coverage, so let's work on some hair. What I want to do first is I just want to do another coating of this orange. I want this orange to be bright as hell, which means we're going to need a couple more coats, because trying to do this bright orange over even a gray primer, because this was Zenithal. Hey cat, good to see you. I did what's called a Zenithal highlight, which is where you prime it black and then you spray paint it gray from the direction that your light source is coming from. The artistic light source, not the real one, the one you're painting in. And it gives you like an automatic, like a map of where your highlights need to go. But I just dropped my brush in the paint. But even that, this orange has a hard time covering. This is not my favorite orange in the world. This is an army painter color, and it's just not doing what I want it to do. So I'm really gonna have to beat it up now. What I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this garbage brush here. I'm just going to stir my paint up and make sure it hasn't completely separated, which it seems to have pretty much completely separated. Last time I had to do this stirring thing to paint, I punched a hole in my paper on my palette and got a nice big gray stain on my sponge in my wet palette. So we're going to try and not do that this time. That's a little better, but not enough. Might have to go to a different color. and bring the orange back over it. I really want like a fiery red hair. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I thought, you know, I'll start it with this bright ass orange and then kind of build in both directions. We'll do some base tones, some highlights. Not quite like the demon hair that we did a few weeks ago, where I basically did it like it was flame. But similar kind of techniques, just different colors. It's a shame too. I really like this orange. It's a really bright, vibrant, pretty orange, but I just cannot get it to cover. This is like layer 6. And if you're asking yourself, well, Zach, why don't you use a different orange? It's because orange is one of the paints that I have it's one of the colors I have the least of. And I'm still pretty awful at mixing paint and making my own color. So we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna have to stick with the horse that brought us, even though that horse is pretty lame. No, it's like yellow like that. It's just such a pain in the dick to get any kind of coverage out of it. I think I got an orange in my next Pro Acryl order, and I'm pretty excited to use it because I use their white a little bit, and white historically is a garbage color no matter what paint brand you use, and it was pretty boss. It did a great job. Alright, that might be about as orange as I can get that right now. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe if I hit it right there real hard. And I definitely need to get this fucking braid over here. Because I cannot continue with the fur until that braid is painted. Alright, let's see. Now, speaking of crap colors, now we gotta use some yellow. I'm using all the fun colors today. We got orange that doesn't cover for shit. We got yellow that doesn't cover for shit. And I just want to do... luckily with the yellow, I don't have to do a lot. I just want to do like some yellow roots. Like her hair gets more and more blonde as it gets towards the center of her head. And we're not going to take that effect super far. But I am going to use this fun glazing technique that I learned. I watch a lot of other paint streamers, and one of them got asked, you know, what's the one thing that you learned that really like propelled your painting forward? And it got me thinking about that. Like, what's the one thing that I've learned that's really like taken my painting to the next level? And it's that the direction of the brush matters. Which direction you're moving your paintbrush is important and will make a difference to your paint job. Trying to do half of our braid here yellow. This, you know, as a self-taught painter, as someone who learned by buying, you know, Reaper minis and then painting them with cheap acrylic craft paint. You know, I've been painting minis for like 15 years. and I only learned this year that the direction my brush is moving makes a difference. I think, yeah, I do. Great. I have a transparent red that I want to use for some of this. I want to fix that blend right there, though, because that looks like garbage. That looks like poopy. Like, I watched this video, right? And, like, they showed, like, they took some thinned out paint, which is what I'm using. I'm using thinned out paint. And they moved the brush in both directions. And they showed, like, when you lift your brush, you're depositing a glob of paint. Most of the paint you just put down is right where the brush ended. The brush stroke ended. And I was like, oh my god. That's genius. How come nobody ever told me that? Everyone just harped on about thinning my fucking paints. Then again, I come from a place where mini painting was not a huge hobby. And, you know, most of the mini painters that I knew, they only painted to a tabletop standard for their 40K army. Just to say, hey, I have a 40K army and it's got paint on it. So a lot of what I've learned about the kind of higher end hobby of mini painting, I've learned very recently. That looks pretty good. Let's get this braid. This one, I'm going to do yellow kind of hashes on both sides. Just to, I don't know what effect it's going to have. It's going to look dope as fuck. That's what effect it's going to have. Just going to go in here and clean that up a little bit. Because it is pretty spotty. A little bit of that spottiness is going to come out when I do what's coming next, which is essentially a heavy wash, a heavier wash. I think we're going to find out. Clean this up a little bit, 'cause I do tend to make a mess. Still a couple of dark spots down here that are driving me nuts. Let's give them a little bit of yellow too down here. Oh, I did do just... I literally was about to say I have to be careful that I'm not getting this yellow on the face. And then immediately, before I even opened my mouth, got a huge glob of yellow on the face. Luckily, I did a very simple skin tone, so it's easy to fix. I did not go up to the ultimate highlight yet. And that spot that I just got yellow on, that's going to get highlighted at least twice more. gonna dump a little bit of extra yellow right there by her face. Sell that transition a little bit more. And then now we're gonna go... Nah. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna do Game Color Scrofulous Brown from Vallejo, which is, you know, essentially a orange with yellow in it. It's very, very yellow, even though it's called a brown. I'll just put a little dot of that right there. And I'm just gonna do some highlights on the hair with this, like starting down at the tips, so that I'm not mixing it up with the redhead portion. Now, a lot of the hair on this Mini got kind of fucked up in the printing, so I'm gonna have to pretend out some hair for a little bit. Now, this is gonna make her hair look really yellow, but I have a plan for that. I have a plan to bring it back down to red. Yeah, this is where we have to start pretending. Kind of inventing lines of hair. And it, you know, this Mini didn't get fucked up in the print because of anything Artisan Guild did or anything about the design. It got fucked up because I did the supports myself, and I suck at that. I'm real bad at it. Alright, that's about as good as that's going to get, I think. So we're going to take a little bit of Vallejo Model Color Transparent Red. Thin it down like crazy far. And essentially use it as a glaze. I kind of want to put a little glaze medium in it, actually. We'll thin it down even farther. Oh yes. Oh yes, that is just gorgeous. What a pretty red. Holy shit. I like that a lot. Alright, let's see how this is going to work. I want to do everything in this except like the very line of the roots. This is really going to like go a long way, I think, towards towards selling the transition between yellow and red. I think. I don't know. I could very well be wrong. Because it looks awful red to me right now. But that's something we can fix. 90% of miniature painting is going back and fixing what you just screwed up. But I don't know. As it dries, it looks pretty cool. I think it looks cool. I think I'm gonna go back to that orange though and revisit some of these lines. Probably took it down a little too far. My blend here at the top of the head really sucks, and it's doing these transitional blends, especially really strong ones like yellow to red, really is not my forte. I'm really not very good at it at all. But I'm trying. I'm learning. I've even reached out to a couple, like, big-name miniature painters that I really respect, and to see if they offer, like, classes, just because I feel like I'm so bad at blending that I need professional help. Yeah, okay, I feel pretty good about that. I still want to bring the highlight in the hair up a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at. Come on. Paint the fucking line. Off camera again. I've really got to do something to this paint setup to make it easier for me to stay on camera when I'm in this super zoomed in mode. Oh my god, I'm dropping paintbrushes all over the place tonight. Did I just put a half-loaded brush in my mouth? Yes, I did. Do I regret it? Nah. Sometimes you gotta eat the paint. Had someone try and tell me today that acrylic, the pigments they use in acrylic paint are extremely toxic, and that I shouldn't eat them. And they're probably right, but ain't gonna stop me. Because sometimes I need a point on my brush, and the only way to get it is to lick the brush. Alright, I feel pretty good about where her hair's at right now. So that's where we're going to leave it for a minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to fix the gray here on the shoulder. Now looks like it's on fire. And then she got, like, I can't tell if those are, like, just big tufts of fur or if they're horn or something. Because of the way they're shaped. I kind of want to paint them as, like, just big horns. Like, some kind of teeth. Or some trophy of whatever animal this was. Because I want to do all the fur matching. Because my idea was, like, you know, she's this incredible badass warrior and killed whatever animal this was and then skinned it and is just wearing it. But she's not wearing any other armor. She's wearing like one shin guard, a skull, a face over her crotch, and then one arm guard, and that's it. She is a berserker. Defense is not what she is trained for. She's trained to run in and hit things really, really hard with her axe. I need to give that a little second to dry. I'm just moving the same paint around a bunch. And while that's drying, I'm going to go in here with some stone gray or some stone blue and just really kind of reinforce these faces that she's wearing as armor, because I really want them to look like blue stone. That's kind of what I'm going for here, like a blue concrete kind of look. So I'm painting them with this gray blue, and then I'm going to go in with some actual gray and pick the details out and, like, you know, give it some dimension, and then highlight it with another gray blue, a brighter one. And then she's got, like, some gubbins on her, like a little pouch and a little, like, sack, like, coin bag. Damn it, I got gray on her leg. I am just a mess tonight. Have to give that a second to dry and then hit it again. Do need to get in here with our undertone, our flesh undertone that we use, which is, you know, basically the Caucasian undertone I use all the time. And just get in here and soften that mark up on her face a little bit. I'm really bad at being patient enough to let a layer dry before I get back on it. I'm really bad at that. It is kind of my biggest downfall right now. Is I need to be able to let things dry before getting more paint on them and just messing them up. God damn it, dude. Get fucking painted. Ugh, there's a little orange spot on that shoulder fur, and I cannot get it to cover. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, let's go do what I was talking about on that stone. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Is it just, you know, the gray's pretty transparent, so it's really showing a lot of the blue through. But I mean, it looks rocky. It looks like stone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the base, the mid-tone, and the highlight on these stones, and then I'm going to wash them to kind of bring it all together. That's a bubble. Come on. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And what I'm hoping is that the blue in that is really going to make it stand out against the gray fur that I'm doing. There we go. Finally got that shit to cover. Let's see. Need... let's use this black wash on all the stone bits. Lovely. Now, I need, what do I need? I need a nice bright gray. Let's do Vallejo Blue Gray Pale. Holy shit. Smack the magnet out of that. Alright. Now, what I'm about to do is going to be long and tedious and boring, so if you're watching this on VOD, fast forward, because this is going to be super boring. Because I'm already at the stage that I'm at in the paint job, I don't want to dry brush this fur. So you guessed it, highlighting it manually. You know what? I need to zoom out. I just can't keep myself in camera. I'm such a mess. Luckily, our berserker here is not of great big stature, and so this shouldn't take forever. I'm already done with the front of that foot. Don't need to do that one. We'll just go through, we'll do the front, then we'll do it from the sides, then we'll do it from the back, just to make sure we got everything. Basically just doing an edge highlight wherever I see a line in the fur. Using the painting hobby to escape the world for a minute. Story of my life. Let's see. I'm gonna switch over here to old Facebooky. See if anybody's talking there. Because if not, I might just go quiet a little bit and do some painting until somebody shows up to chat with me. Oh, somebody commented. Hey Job, good to see you. I just saw your comment on Facebook. Because I can't. I'm multi-streaming, and so I can only see the Facebook comments on my phone if I go looking for them. Dry brush. My brush went dry. There's a problem with these super tiny brushes. This is the Army Painter Masterclass Kolinsky Sable brush. Good brush. But it goes dry really quick because it's so small. Army Painter makes some good brushes. I find their paint hit or miss. I like their hobby tools. They're not super expensive. I dig their primer. It's a little glossy, but I dig it. They do a damn fine brush. coming together. Yeah, I'm gonna do these like really big tufts here. As fur, yeah, they look like fur. The more I look at them, the more fur they look. Instead of, because at first I kind of thought they were horns, but they're fur. It's just a little bit less work for me. It's fine. Alright, that's all the fur highlights on the front, I think. Except for down here, that I completely missed. So we'll go ahead and just turn her this way and work on this side. I don't know what I did with my glasses. That would make this very much easier. No, I don't wear glasses because I need them. I wear readers to help eye strain when I'm painting. But they are a little bit magnifiery, so it would probably help with this super tedious bullshit. Had to grab something to drink. So, you know, the one bot that's watching my channel right now missed out on a few seconds. Just had a cord fall. It's alright. The cords and cables and everything to this glorious camera setup are held together with sticky tack and rubber bands. Some of my sticky tack seems to have come off the wall. Oh well. It doesn't show up on camera, it's just in my way and annoying. I don't have to do these little hash marks quite as heavy here on the back of the boots because there's a lot of rope involved that I'm going to be painting, so I'm going to lose a lot of this. You know, like, not that I'm not painting over it, but just visually it's going to get lost in something more apparent, something foreground.
which is good because back here on the boots, it looks like the print flattened out a little bit. And again, that's on me for not doing the supports well enough. Alright, that's all of the little hash mark highlight nonsense on the fur. So we're gonna get into the belt pouches and the ropes, and I gotta decide which one I want to do first and how I want to do them. Yeah, so we're gonna do the ropes first. We're going to start with some ochre. Those two, now you're a little bit too yellow. Give me some, yeah, okay. Yeah, those two. Ooh, do I want a darker, yeah. Yeah. Not you. You. We'll do a nice dark brown and then highlight it up nice and bright. Plus, it's a perfectly good excuse to use my new Pro Acryl colors. I love these so much. They're such good paints. Rope is hard to see right there. So we're gonna pretend we're gonna make a rope up. A lot of times you can quote unquote fix a mini with a paint job. And when you print your own minis and you're not super good at doing your own supports, sometimes you gotta fix a mini with a paint job. Hey John, good to see you, my friend. How are you today? Big old support left on there. Yeah, isn't it wild? I've got a live, basically a live blog going on over here, giving me all the fun updates on the end of American democracy. How wild! Who would have thought that it would have come at the hands of the same party that we've been warning you will be the end of democracy for the last 3.5 years? That's the thing that really gets me heated about shit like tonight. You know, you got a right-wing mob storming the Capitol building, and we on the left have literally been warning people that this was gonna happen for like years. Like, you know, fucking watch out. The fucking, you know, they're acting awful fashy on the right over there, and they're getting more and more authoritarian and fascistic, and it's gonna get nasty. It's gonna get nasty, and then when it gets nasty, everyone's like, could we have seen this coming? I wanted to tell you, I finally found a white paint that is good. Not just like okay, not just better than the garbage Citadel comes out with, but actually good. And it's not even super expensive. It's actually cheaper than Citadel. Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl. Their white is amazing. It covers beautifully. It's smooth as a fucking baby's ass. And you get like damn near twice the paint that you get in a Citadel pot, which I'm about. I'm not even sponsored. I'm going to apply to be. I'm 100% going to apply when their application goes back up, but it's because I want, but that's just because I want cheap paint. Is this the same brown that I used on the axe handles? I think it is. I think it is. Which is good, because I missed a huge spot on the axe handle. Like, all right, so this is a Citadel pot. It is 12 milliliters. 12 milliliters of paint. It's $5, right? If you decant it into a dropper bottle, you know, it doesn't even fill this up completely. You can get about a bottle and a half in this. So that's Citadel. For comparison, here's Vallejo at 17 milliliters. Here's Army Painter at 18 milliliters. And here's Pro Acryl at 22 milliliters. Like, that bottle is enormous. And it's just smooth and I love it. I'm like, as soon as I put the first drop on my palette, I was sold. I'm a customer. Like, now I gotta figure out where all this paint that I pulled out goes. What was I doing? Oh right, I just did the just fixed the brown on the axes. Alright, let's do a little highlighting on the ropes. I think some ochres. We're gonna move up through the ochres. Ooh, somebody's sending me Facebook posts. It is my lovely partner. Whatever you just sent me, Jen, cannot be displayed. So either it got taken down or it's from a group that I'm not in or something like that. Right, what were we doing? We were highlighting ropes with some yellow ochre. It's Monument Hobbies makes it. And, you know, for the money, it's like money to volume of paint. It's the cheapest hobby paint on the market. And it's awesome. It's actually the paint that I'm using right now. This yellow ochre is Pro Acryl. The very same. Monument Hobbies. Doing some, taking my kind of ultimate highlight here, which is Desert Yellow from Vallejo, and just doing some kind of textury hash marks to make this look like rope again. It's also the smallest miniature I've painted in a while. Just tiny, this thing. Even though it's in 32mm scale, it's just itty bitty. Because, you know, dwarf. There. There's that. And there's a line up here that I really hate that I need to fix. That's better. That's better. Just too thick. Alright. We are going to do... What are we going to do? We are going to do a completely different brown for the pouches and little gubbins on her belt. And to do that completely different brown, we're going to change one brown. Just one. Do this, see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks fun. Do a little mix here of browns for this pouch over here just to make it look a little... Or is that... No, that's not a pouch. That's another stone face. Alright. We'll let that dry for a minute. While that's drying, we're going to do some very thin highlights here on our pouches. We want the highlights on those pouches to be so thin that you can barely see that we put paint down. Little too thick over here. I'm just gonna soften that edge up a little bit. See how that looks in a second. just going to put a little almost white, kind of an ivory-ish, like a yellow ivory, right in the center of those highlights. Alright, let's work on our second stone face over here a little bit. Or fourth, or I don't even know how many stone faces we're up to now. I'm going to highlight it with that second blue-gray. Same highlights we just did on the other ones. And then when that dries, we'll do a wash on it. That one's going to be a little lighter than the rest, but that's okay. Lets it stand out a little bit more. Alright, while that's all happening, like I said, I'm working on non-metallic metal, being able to paint metal colors without using metallic paints, but I'm not quite there yet. It's something I'm wanting to work on, and I'm just not there yet, so I am going to be using metallic paints on our metal here. But I don't want to do much. I mostly, on the axe heads, I just want to dot and kind of speckle the black. And then it's got these cuts in it. And we'll just line one side of those. And then we'll line the edge. I'm using a fairly dark metallic here that we're going to go in and reinforce with a brighter one here shortly. I can't really see what I'm doing on this edge here. Because of how far in it's tucked, it's hard to see. Do this one. And we're gonna do something even simpler for the bands on the handles, but I don't want to do those yet. I don't want to do those until what was I about to say? Yeah, I don't want to do those until I've done the wood grain on the handles. Which I'm actually going to go through and do a full, like, paint in a full wood grain. Which I've never done before. Should be fun. Trying to make sure that on every mini I paint, I try at least one thing I've never done before. Now we're just going to go in and edge highlight all the way around these axes. The only thing that really makes this a highlight is that this paint is reflective. This color is actually very dark. It's essentially a black paint with silver micarta flecks in it. So the edge highlight's actually very faint. It's more faint than I really wanted it to be, but that's okay. I can live with it. See how that looked real quick, because that's going to get painted over in a second. Alright, let's take a slightly brighter metallic. And go in and brighten up some of our places here. We'll also do a slight speckling with this. And then we're just going to go in and hit the high points of the axe edge. You know, being kind of broad about it. I'm not being super careful. And then even brighter. And what this should do, theoretically, is really make the axe look sharp. All right, we're getting mighty close here to our final steps on this one. And then, gasp in horror, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to paint next. All right, let's put these colors away. And then we're gonna bring out some more browns. I got plenty of that one, actually. I got plenty of that one. Let's get this one. I need a light brown. Where is that one? And finally, I need a good tan. Go to my favorite tan right now. The old Zandri Dust. clean up the end of this pointy bit here. I made a mess on both of them, it seems. All right. Back to our wood grain. All I'm doing is I am very faintly drawing some lines following the shape that I want the wood grain to be going in. And I'm going to do this with 4 different browns, kind of stacking them on top of each other, letting them kind of intertwine and overlap, and it should theoretically give a wood grain look. And then we're going to do a magic trick to tie them all together. Next brown, repeat. Now, you're probably not going to be able to see this on this garbage camera. But it'll be up on my Instagram page later. So long as I don't completely and royally screw this up. Always a possibility. Next. The way I learned to do this technique was actually with overlapping gray lines. You paint what you want to do brown, and then you do overlapping gray lines of different values, different tones. I don't like this brown. Skipping it, moving on to the last one. And then you do a transparent brown over all of it. And that gives you your wood grain. And it looks really good. But I didn't want to do the gray step on this. Because I'm lazy. And this is working out pretty good. At least on this axe. On this one over here, it's kind of getting a little fuzzy and blurry. That's my fault. Easy fix though. Just go back and do more lines. Actually, no. I kind of like that. Kind of looking pretty good. So now, back to our metallics, we're going to do the banding on the axe. You know, normally I don't really plan ahead too far on minis. I just kind of paint and see where they go. But I've had an idea for the last step on this one, and I frankly cannot wait to get there. And that might be a first, that I'm just super excited to get to the end of a mini. And not just because it's driving me insane, but because I'm actually looking forward to what I have planned for it. We are getting real close here. That's, all right. Nope, that's okay. This one. Let's give that just a second to dry. And then we'll give it a wash. And I'm going to wash the whole axe top to bottom, including the head, just to tone that all down just a bit. Doesn't take the complete shine out of the axe, but it goes a long way. But that wash is going to also tie all those lines we just painted together and help make them look like wood. Actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and wash all this fur brown too. To give it kind of a dirty look. She is a berserker after all. She's not entirely concerned with hygiene. At least not in this snapshot that we have here. Yeah, that looks pretty slick. All right. I think one more quick little highlight on the metallic parts of the axe. And then we get to do the fun part that I've been looking forward to for so long. And then I gotta figure out what I'm painting next. Because this one will be done. Not my best work. Not my worst either. Not by a long shot. I'm doing these highlights while the wash is still a little wet. So that it blends in nice and smooth. Whole part of the axe I missed right there. Alright. Give all that a second to dry. Shouldn't take too terrible long. While that's drying, I'm going to get a brush, the one I had in mind here, and we're going to do a test. Where the fuck? Alright, I need a nice firm brush. Scraggly and firm. That's the kind of brush I'm looking for right now. I'm not seeing them. Let's do a quick test here. We'll do an off-screen test. Alright, well that didn't work at all. Huh. There's a particular dry brush I'm looking for that I have. Really, really firm dry brush, because I took a synthetic brush, an old synthetic brush, and I cut it short, and that really like scruffed it up. I'm about to have to do another one. I wish I could find the brush that I want though, that'd be pretty great. An old toothbrush would work. You know what? I just thought of something that I still need to do, that I forgot that I had to do. So she has this scar on her face, and I went ahead and did like a purple undertone, and I want to do a little bit of pink in it. No, I don't. That looks terrible. I mixed a little bit of pink with a little bit of that transparent red, and that seems to have done the trick and gotten us to a place that I like. All right. Back to the search. Maybe that one will work. Oh yeah, that one will work. Great. Now I just need to work on my aim a little bit. Alright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to lay this mini flat. And I'm going to come in here with a little bit of effects paint, special effects paint. This is a blood colored paint that dries glossy, so it looks like wet blood. And we're just going to do the old flick trick here and get some blood splatter on her. That wasn't nearly enough. There we go. Get her all spattered up with some blood. Makes a hell of a mess, this. Oh, I just accidentally hit her in the chest with the brush, and it looks pretty dope. It looks pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm just going to do a very purposeful bit over here. Give her a bloody nose. Yeah, now she looks proper. Alright, that's that mini finished. I'm going to base her with something different. I'm going to put her on a different base, but for now, that'll work. Now I have
You know what, Jen? This paint is actually called Blood for the Blood God. And there she is. I got a picture up on my Instagram this evening so that everyone can bask in her glory. But that's one down. I'm going to go set her up on the shelf. And I'm going to take myself a little bit of a break. We're going to make a bathroom break. And be back in just a few minutes. Be right back. Love y'all.
And by y'all, I mean, like, you know, the one robot that's still watching. There we go. Nice, clean, wet palette. And this is what I'm going to start on. So where's the... There it is. This rad orc blacksmith from Artisan Guild. It's kind of another pinup, but not really. And it's a slightly larger scale. It's like this is a 32 millimeter scale human, and there they are compared. So it's slightly bigger than 32 mil scale, and that'll actually give me that's actually a perfect opportunity for me to really work on smoothing out my blends. I don't think I put agitators in this one. Nope, yep, I did. There they are. It's just a Vallejo paint, so it's very, very chunky inside. I'll rubber band it to my Sawzall later, and we can fix that problem real fast. There we go. Let's get my shitty mixie brush. There we go. That mixed around. Nice and smooth. And then we're going to go in and we're just going to base coat the skin tone. And I turned the music off, so I keep getting notifications, mostly from Facebook, about improper music use on a live stream. But you know, it's all royalty-free stuff I downloaded from YouTube, so I don't know. We might just have to do music-free streams for a while. Because I've tried using Twitch's music platform, it's their specific platform for streaming, but it's buggy. It's so buggy. So it might get like awkward quiet because no music, and you know, one viewer and a robot, so not a lot to talk to. So I might get quiet. If you pop in to check things out and I'm being awfully quiet, just, say hi. Like the screen says right there. Just say hi. We'll chat. We'll hang out. We'll have a good time. Let's get a little closer to this Mini. I really need a better camera. This phone setup is not ideal. This one's going to be a little bit more olive green than my normal orcs. Give me a slightly different skin tone. Just, for practice, for changing things up. trying to keep this layer nice and thin. So that the skin comes out nice and smooth. These pinup models have just been absolutely great for practicing skin tones because there's an awful lot of it. Yeah, so green. And only getting greener. When I printed this one, I thought about scaling it up to like make it a full 75 mil figure to make it a display piece. Because I wanna start painting some bigger stuff, you know, to kind of hone the skills that I'm learning, so to speak. Because when the scale is larger, you can't get away with as much. But I decided not to, for reasons that I don't actually know. I probably just forgot by the time I pushed go. Because I can't imagine how this would make for a gaming piece. Because, you know, she has a anvil on her base that she's actively interacting with. It kind of breaks the third wall for gaming. But it's just so cool of a mini, how could I not? Plus, there's some stuff I want to try on this anvil. And on this blade. Some work on some of my non-metallic metal stuff. Hulk smash. This is a great, like, Hulk green. This is, what is this? This is Vallejo Game Color Cayman Green. This is the first time I've used this green. I like it. It's smooth. I have a hit and miss relationship so far with Vallejo colors. This one's pretty good. I picked this mini specifically because of how defined all the muscles are. I really dig painting muscle structure. It just comes out looking so cool. Like, I want to paint minis that are straight out of Boris Vallejo paintings. I haven't really decided on a hair color, Jen. I'm open to suggestions. Holy shit. Walter's Workshop. Thanks for the raid. Holy cow. Whoa. That is a lot of emotes. Holy crap. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Pull up a seat. Enjoy yourself. We got plenty of room. Painting some blacksmithy orcs, or a blacksmithy orc. We just finished a dwarven barbarian lady, Sigmarite arch lector. I noticed you. Senpai has noticed you. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is awesome. This is super rad. This might be the most viewers I've ever had. I'm ignoring the outside world and focusing more on worlds that have orcs. Because the outside world is a crazy shit show right now. And I can deal with orcs and magic way easier, with much lower blood pressure. Jen is my partner. Wait, not that Jen. Not Sigmarite Jen. Sigmarite Jen is not my partner. I do have a hell of a delay. We're all Jens. That's right. I'm Jen. You're Jen. Walter's Jen. Everyone is Jen.
Damn, now I want some gin and tonic. How's everybody doing? On this glorious, glorious evening of it's cold and shit. I am doing fantastic. I am in my basement, in my dungeon, painting some minis. What could be better? Y'all came in at the perfect time, too, while I'm doing the part of the mini that I'm actually good at, which is the base coat. It all goes downhill from here. Thank you very much, little cannibal girl. This is from the January release for Arch. Shit. Okay, we're gonna start over. By the way, this is a not safe for work, cursing friendly kind of channel. This is from the Archville. No, it's not Archvillain Games. It's Artisan Guild. One of those places that starts with A is an Artisan Guild mini from their January Patreon release. That was, why was that so hard to get out of my mouth? Yeah, it does kind of have an Elder Scrolls-y kind of look about it, doesn't it? Maybe that's the angle I should go. Wog indeed. Yeah, there is a hella delay. We've been having some internet problems this evening. Oh my god, so many follows that I did not notice. Thank you, all of you. Every last one of you. You know who you are. Artisan Guild is one of those Patreons, one of the several Patreons I follow to get the 3D printable minis, because I like making my own minis. It's fun. Yeah, it does. There's a lot. It's the work part of it that I find the most fun, but also makes me curse the most. Cursing at and threatening your minis to throw them across the room. That's part of the process, right? I think that's our skin tone right there. Yeah. So let's see. How do I want to do this? I want you. My 3D printer runs pretty much 24 hours a day either printing minis for myself or printing parts for a buddy of mine that plays like an old Hammer army, and so I print a bunch of minis for him that he can't get. But I mean, my those printers, man, if you let them get to you, they'll start running like 24 hours a day.
That's not nearly as dark as I wanted it to be.
Am I live? We're back! Hell yeah. I think. Alright, let's... That is super annoying. That's like the third time that the stream has dropped tonight. I do not know what is going on. Not a clue what is happening. But my internet's good. My stream key is good. I just put up a new put in a new stream key. I don't know what's going on. Are we blaming Walter still? Is it Walter's fault? Damn it, Walter. Alright, well, we're painting eyeballs. So, you know, riveting stuff. I've already boogered them up. Nice things are overrated, really. And before I cut these eyeballs back in, we need some pupils. And then I'll cut the eyeballs back in. Nope. Also nope. Okay. This is the riveting, most entertaining part of watching someone paint minis, I know, is watching them redo the eyeballs 800 times. Come on now. I don't exactly have the sharpest brush in the world, so doing the pupils is never an easy task. She looks a little crazy right now. Girl, your eyeballs is too big. I wish I had a better camera so you guys could see the ridiculousness that is that face right now. I have an Elegoo Mars Pro and a Creality LD002R. The pre-mono generation of Creality 3D Creality resin printer. It was just after I got mine, they came out with a mono screen version.
Oops. Blade just fell off. Mars 2, I have heard only good things about the Mars 2. I'm kind of in a place in my life where I desperately want one of the large format ones, like a Saturn, like a Mars, an Elegoo Saturn, or a what's the Sonic one, the Sonic Mighty or whatever, the Anycubic Photon S, any of those really. But they're like $700 a pop, and I'm not about that life. She's very surprised looking, but that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get the eyes right now. Maybe if I... Sonic screwdriver? Oh, no, those are very small. I've got one of those. It's packed away somewhere. Like a crazy person, when minis have sculpted eyeliner, I like to paint it in. Rather than just doing the whole area black and then cutting it back in. I'm a crazy person. I like to do it by hand. It actually does make her look slightly less surprised. Cool. Yeah. I'm not super great with the 3D printing stuff myself. I do it, because I like an unlimited supply of minis. But I'm not super knowledgeable on it just yet. It's one of those things I'm learning. Yeah. I've definitely had less surprised minis. That is a surprised orc. She's kind of like giving a crazy eye a little bit. I can fix that. That's something I can fix. That's better. I watched a lot of like 3D Print Farm, 3D Printing Pro, 3D Printing Dungeon Master, Danny from Miami, that one. I've watched quite a bit, and I've got it to where, I know enough to be dangerous. But I would not by any stretch of the imagination call myself any kind of expert. Let's see. That's the story of my life, is I know enough to be dangerous. Thank you, Jen, for that gifted sub. That's awesome. That means that Ogre gets my ridiculous beholder emote, which is
Just the dumbest thing, and I love it. Oh, I just picked up the wrong color. Just picked up the wrong color. Love when that happens. Am I link friendly? I mean, depends on what we're linking. I mean, I'm far friendlier to some things than others. Let me take a look here. Oh, that looks pretty great, actually. I really like that. Can I pull that up on? Would you be alright if I like pull that up on camera? That'd be alright. No, that's not it. There we go. That's it. Yeah. Got a sweet beholder. I did this mini. This is the Nalzer's Marvelous Minis from WizKids beholder. I did this one on stream. This is a while ago. Let me see if I can find it real quick. But I really like that. I love the purple you did in the gums. That shadow, that dark, deep purple shadow in the gums just looks great. I really like that, and we'll immediately be stealing that idea. I hope you know. I hope you're aware that I'm just absolutely and unapologetically gonna steal that. I like the Nalzer's minis. I've done a few of them on stream. They're a bitch to get the mold lines off of, but I really like them. Doing a little bit of brown around her eyes. Just kind of give her interesting shadow around her eye before I start jacking her up with highlight. There we go. No, I really do like that though. That pink with the purple shadow. What did I do mine? I did mine pink with a red shadow. I just kind of went very simple. I'm not super crazy about it, but I like it. I use an X-Acto knife, like the back edge of an X-Acto knife, unless it's really stubborn, and then I'll flip it around to the sharp side. And it works for stuff like GW mold lines. It works great. But I tend to stumble on the Nalzer's WizKid mold lines. They're just intense mold lines. Now, what was I gonna do? Right. I'm gonna try something real quick. Time for an experiment. Right there looks good. Gonna put some glaze medium down. And we're gonna make us a little bit of brown glaze. That's about right. I want to see what a brown shadow would look like against this green.
I like it. We're going to do that. We're going to do this brown shadow. I normally don't paint shadows in. Normally I start with my lowest tone and build up. But, you know, we got to try new things every once in a while. Just going to do real faint brown glaze in all the recesses. And hey, it's acrylic, you know? If I don't like it, I'll paint over it. Well, you have a great night, Ogre. It was a pleasure having you. Come back and hang out sometime. And if you didn't like the stream, blame Walter. It's his fault. I don't know, it looks kind of cool. Again, it's hard to see on my awesome camera here that is actually my old cell phone. But, I'm using, what brown is this? This is Doomble Brown from Citadel, and it makes pretty good shadow. Again, you know, I normally don't paint my shadows in, but I'm all for trying new things. Trying to give it a second, see how it dries. I'm paranoid. I keep looking at my stream to see if I've dropped again, because now I'm like freaking out about it. I'm not crazy about it there. I'm not crazy about, for some reason, I don't like it. Don't like the brown for an underbutt shadow. It looks a bit cell shady. Like it's, I don't know. It's not crazy about it. I mean, we've made it this far. I'm sticking with it. All right. Let's go up. Let's start going up. Motherfucker. Tell you what, I knock shit over so much. I've lost the sword. Where'd it go? Oh, I'll find it in a bit. Unless it's in my pocket. I don't know. The sword fell off, which sucks, but is what it is. That's what they make super glue for. There we go. We'll just set that there. And then just give it a little razzle dazzle. Now, the hell did that sword go? That's annoying. Oh well, looks like we're not painting the sword tonight. Ha ha!
Tell you, man, this BSI, or no, this is Taylor's. Anyway, the super glue accelerator in all of its forms, game changer, life changer. I was not prepared for how good that stuff is. And on certain things, if you put the super glue down and you spray the accelerator on it, you get to see the smoke from the chemical reaction, and that's always amusing. Sorry, get real focused. First few layers of a new color, because I can't exactly see what I'm doing. It goes on so damn thin. I think I see the problem with her eye. See, all it took for me to see the problem with her eye was for me to put my fucking glasses on. Yep, that made all the difference in the world. Excellent. The eye color, the ivory that I used for the eyeball was kind of like out on the eyeliner line. So her eyes extended lower than they should have. And that was giving her crazy eyes. Now that I have my glasses on and I can see it, I can fix it. Much, much, much better. Excellent. All right, eyeballs. Significantly less crazy. Where was I? Right. Doing skin tone.
off camera. I tend to do that. The shift between the base layer of green and this secondary layer of green is so subtle. It's almost too subtle. I don't know how I feel about it. But the best part of 3D printing your own minis is if you get to a point where you really hate it and you just want to chuck the mini in the bin, you can just go print another one. And definitely, I already know that the next color shift, the one to the higher tone, higher pre-highlight tone, is going to be a bit more dramatic. So we're going to skip a couple values of green. With the brown undershade and this kind of cartoony green, she almost looks shiny. And I kind of think I want to stick to that. So what I'm going to do here in just a second is I'm going to take a reference picture with my desk light shining off of her, so that I know where to put my crazy bright highlights. Because my crazy bright highlights are going to be red. Because I want, you know, she's blacksmithing. I want the forge. I want the forge light. So we're going to do a really bright red glazed highlight for some object source lighting. At least that's the plan. It could all go terribly wrong. All right. Where's my phone? That's me. Okay, here we go. Where do I want that light source coming from? Focus, you bastard. There. I want there. Motherfucker, as soon as I push the button, it goes out of focus. There. Got it. Alright, so now I have my reference for where the specular highlights go. Once I get the skin tone at the shape I want it to be, I'll know. I can just look at this picture and be like, okay, with the light shining this direction, here's where the highlights are. All right, let's go through and do another layer of this green. Just not showing up as brightly as I'd like it to. So we'll just enrich it a little bit without making it too opaque, because I definitely still want that olive showing through. There we go. That is already much better. A little chalky. A little spotty, but that's okay. It should even out as it dries, and if it doesn't, I'll just hit it with a green wash when we're all done. Yeah, this isn't about highlights or shadows. This part is just about getting the skin the colors plural that I want. That looks much better. It's partly vibrancy, and it's partly just this paint has a little bit of gloss to it. Probably didn't shake it up quite good enough. Should explain some of that glossiness, but that's what they make matte varnish for. But I actually don't mind it. It makes her look sweaty. Alright. I'm moderately satisfied with that. Let's really give this one the beans. Shaking paint and taking a drink felt very much like I was juggling. Huh. Ooh, hold on. Nah, okay. I made the correct decision. I second guessed myself on the next color for the skin tone. Mostly because I really want to use more Pro Acryl paints. But the green that I have is just not right for this. Makes me a little sad, but is what it is. Let's make sure I'm not too spotty here. Too much water in my mix. Much better. The higher up you go in value, the harder it is to thin, in my personal opinion. I tend to thoroughly under thin bright colors, and they just go on way more opaque than they should. I want them very, very light, opaque. Let's get some glaze medium in there. Alright, skin. Alright. Skin, alright. You're wanting to do that? Let's fucking do it. I'll let you do it for a minute. See how it looks. Yes, I'm talking to my paint. This paint is wanting to go on very strangely. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh my god. That looks like hell. That's my favorite part about using acrylics. If you made a mistake, wash it off with a wet brush. It's like using a fucking eraser. It's wonderful. All right, you fuck. Why aren't you thinning? I have so much glaze medium in you, and you are just not thinning. Now I'm just making a big mess all over my palette. That's better. Now we're getting somewhere. Just had to give it like quadruple the amount of glaze medium I do everything else. Still a little chalky, but it seems to be drying okay. Except for that bit right there where it pooled. The last orc I did, I do not remember having this much trouble. Trying to get a smooth fucking high tone. And I know I can take some of this chalkiness out with a wash. Boy, that's just frustrating. Just need to smooth this out a little bit, and I think I am good on this color. There's just some spots that need a second coat just to smooth them out. Maybe a third one. All right. Do a little bit of highlighting here to the face. We can move on to something else. That looks like shit. I'm off camera again. There we go. A little bit of brightness right under the eye. Right here on the chin. And on the corner of the ear. I think there might be part of my problem. That brush is losing its tip. So I'm getting weird paint lines that I don't mean to be. Alright. I'm done fighting with it. I'm done fighting with it. I'll come back to it. I'll fix it later. We'll fix it in post. Trying to get a solid point on this brush. Your teeth. All right, and finally, one last little thing. Hey, Nick. How you doing, my friend? Having a difficulty getting her lip quite the color I want. Why, thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone said to me all day. Not quite, but you know what I mean. Thank you. I will take Sideshow Bob Ross. That's better. Not perfect, but better. One day I'm gonna get a halfway decent camera and y'all be able to see what I'm fucking doing. Feeling fairly okay about it. Still not in love with that highest skin tone. It just doesn't want to cover evenly. Even super, super thin down. It's kind of drying in little globs. So yeah, I think I am going to have to hit that with a wash. Ugh. I did not want to do this. Because I'm going to have to redo that sexy brown shadow. And I'm losing all my olive tone. God damn it. Had to be done. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. Take another reference shot while she's wet just to get even stronger. Those even stronger specular highlights. Just an idea. Probably won't play out. That did help a little. Not a lot, but a little. And I didn't lose all my shadows, so I'm okay. I'm alright with it. What do we want to do now? What do I want to do now? I think I want to work on the base, just so in case I have to do any dry brushing down there. Heh. See what you did there. Or do I want to do her apron? It's either apron or base, or I guess boots. Boots could be fun. She's got metal boots, so that's another OSL opportunity. Or not OSL, non-metallic metal. That's what I meant. But I'm going to do the base. Might as well, right? Go ahead and do the base now so that I can get some dry brushing in there without messing up everything I've done. Even more than I already have. Ooh, an idea. That should be fun to play with. So I've got these like big open spaces on the base, as though the platform that she's standing on kind of sinks below her, sinks below this rock that I'm painting. So it being a forge and all, I think maybe some lava or some heat down below her could be fun. Could be fun. But we need to do the rock first. Step 1. As I'm kind of progressing in miniature painting towards a degree of miniature painting that almost kind of looks down on dry brushing a little bit. It's nice to like find a perfectly good excuse to use it, because it is one of my very favorite techniques. One day I might revisit the Sharknado mini that I did and subsequently broke. Just because, you know, I dry brushed an entire ocean scene. Did it almost entirely with dry brushing. And it was crazy fun. Plus it was a fucking Sharknado. But it was also super, super top heavy, and it got dropped like 4 times. Color, yeah. I want the transition on these rocks to be quite extreme. So we're gonna go with some grace here. Get way up into the light values of gray here. I might even do a round of dry brushing in white, just to really make these rocks pop. Because they are also going to get some object source lighting love. So the brighter everything can be underneath them, the better that's gonna look. And then this gray is the gray that I lovingly refer to as near as damn it white, because it is as near as damn it to white. That looks cool. Probably can't see it super well on this amazing camera, but it looks cool. Take my word for it. Let's see here. I want a good red. You're a good red. Kind of going for this look of she's hammering on her anvil, making the sword that I've lost inside a volcano or on a river of lava. I might have rethought this look if I had seen this little tiny fucking spot in here. Through and give everything another coat of red to really make it solid. So I really only need it solid like where the red meets the stone, because everything else is going to get colors layered, more colors layered on top of it. But I might as well, you know, give everything a good foundation. All right. Just adding the orange already takes this pretty close to what I want it to be. But not quite. I'll have to come back and hit that one again once it dries. All right. Next. Just found a spot that I have neglected to paint. It's perfectly on brand for me, yet no less frustrating. So, gonna get back in here with some orange. Give that a second. While we're waiting on that orange to dry, we'll go in here and just hit the edge with some titanium white. Some nice bright white right here at the edges. Not really even going to go into the shape at all. Can't really see it. I'm just going to put a dollop of white in the middle. Here we go. Blacksmithing on a river of lava. Dope. Alright, that's the base done. I'm gonna do some pure black here on all of the metallic parts. And then that way we can work them up to like a dark metal. Because I want to do this non-metallic metal thing to them, but I still want them to be quite dark. This will also help me see them a little bit better because they'll stand out. Doesn't help you see them though because I keep painting off fucking screen. Ah. Screw this brush. Because I did that zenithal highlight on everything, and then I've been doing a lot of gray, I can't... Pulling everything back down to black really helps me see what I'm working with. The zenithal is great for like skin tone. Because the paint is, you know, semi-translucent, it provides a little bit of natural highlight. Hello, my love.
I came to give you a kiss before I go to bed.
Are you going to bed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love you.
Have fun.
Sweet dreams. I'll be there shortly. Collective. Oh. Forgot what I was saying. There's our anvil. I have no idea how I'm going to paint the anvil. Not a clue in the world. I don't even know what a real world anvil looks like. Do the hammerhead. Go. And finally, these metal bands on her wrists. Which aren't getting painted just yet. These are going to be a little farther down the line, but if I'm drawing out all my metal stuff, I might as well go ahead and do them. I might skip the step that I thought I was gonna do and do the leather next, so that I can knock the gloves out with everything else, the metal that I'm doing. Alright, got all my metal blacked out. So now I know where that's going to be. And I am going to take this point in our painting journey of this journey. God, how pretentious. I'm going to take this step in the painting as a good place to stop for two very good reasons. One, I'm going to go climb into bed with my partner where it is very, very warm. And two, I'm about to pee myself. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Walter for the raid and all the new follows and the new subs. Thank you guys so much. This has been an absolute blast of a stream, even though it kept dropping and it's super annoying. But we will be back. I might be back tomorrow afternoon. I haven't quite decided yet. to do some more streaming, but we know for sure that I will be back before Saturday. So, again, thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the chats. We will see you next time. Same bat channel. Same bat place. I need a better tagline. See y'all. Have a good night. Go. Go. Go.